Have you ever wondered the actual differences between eco versus boost mode when you ride out on the trails, as to what difference it makes to the speed that you ride at, the effort that you put into your bike, or whether you sit back and enjoy the ride or dig deep and ride hard? So today we're going to see what those actual differences are, eco versus boost. Power mode is how much assistance you select from your motor. Most systems have 3 or 4 different levels of power assistance available. Normally these are featured as eco, trail and boost or turbo on your display. On many of today's e-mountain bikes you can actually customize the amount of power that is delivered in each mode, such as on Bosch, Bros or Shimano. While some actually offer an automatic mode such as the eMTB mode on Bosch bikes or the auto mode on Yamaha and Giant. Or for another more range efficient way of riding, the microtune feature we see on the Specialized Levos is a new take on it. The different power modes on your e-bike are often used for changes in terrain, the steepness of the hill, or maybe even better battery management on those longer rides. In all, there's lots of different ways we can use that power mode on our e-bikes. But for today's video, we just want to see what the differences are between eco and that higher boost mode, and whether you can hit the higher heart rates regardless of what mode you're using. So for today's challenge, we've got one uphill trail in front of us, which I'm going to be hitting in both eco and boost mode, and with 2 different efforts. One going as hard as I can, and the other as very minimal effort as possible. And one key piece to the challenge today is that I won't be going above my speed limiter, which on this bike is 25 kilometers per hour. Right, run number 1 underway. We're in boost mode for this one. And of course, we're going to be putting maximum effort in. So let's start this Garmin and get going. Stop the clock. Right, that's actually insanely hard in turbo mode. Let's take a look, on boost mode I should say. Let's take a look at the details. Right, next up is a run in eco with max effort, and I'm not really looking forward to that one because that was quite a big effort even with turbo or boost mode engaged. For this, I'm going to be using a really handy tool on my Garmin called Virtual Partner. Now, you can use this on a pre-ridden route already. You can upload it, start it going, and it's almost like following like a ghost mode. You can see where your other person is in front and how fast you've got to work to catch them up, or whether you're in front already, you can lay off the pace a little bit. A really handy one to have when you're hitting the trails. Whew. Right, back down to the start. This is my maximum effort in eco mode. That's where you definitely notice that lack of power. On tech bits like that. Really stalls you. Whew, now that's pretty hard going, and whilst we wait for my heart rate to return back to its normal state, I think we should chat about the kit that I'm using to record today's ride. First up is my Garmin Edge 830 head unit. Now this is a wealth of information on my handlebars. It gives me so much information from the ride, literally mind blown. But for today, it's recording the elevation, the speed that I'm riding at, and where I've been riding. And I've combined it with a heart rate monitor, which I placed around my chest. Now this is a great insight as to how hard your heart is beating and which heart rate zone you're working in. And post-ride, I really like to use my Garmin Connect app. I can download all the data and look at all my effort, see how fast I've been going, where I can improve, and it gives me really good motivation for next time I hit the trail. Okay, so that's the hard efforts out the way in both eco and boost mode, with some interesting results there actually. But what happens when we take the opposite approach and we could become a passenger rather than a rider, letting that motor do most of the work rather than ourselves? Right, run number 3 underway. Feeling pretty chilled on this one. This is going to be boost mode with minimal effort. Nice. I'm basically just turning the cranks, not really doing a lot on this, just chilling. What a nice relaxing way to ride your bike. Stop the clock. Now, not even out of breath. Well, that was one of the most easiest rides up the hill ever. I purely let the motor do the work there, just pretty much turning the cranks. Okay, run number 4 underway. I've dialed down that assistance to eco, meaning I'm getting the least possible assistance from my motor. And of course, I'm going to be in the correct cadence range and the gear for going up that hill. So the least effort possible. Let's go. Once again, really losing momentum on those steep techier bits. Definitely way more effort going in. I said minimal effort, but in eco mode, you definitely do need to put the effort in. So I'll be interested to see the data on this one. The hill that we were using today was just an example. The hill that is in front of you will ultimately determine what power mode you select and also the effort needed to conquer it. You can still get exhausted on a tough technical climb in turbo, and on the other hand, you might not even be able to get up some hills in eco mode. But what we have shown is that mindset will play a part, and also hill climbing strategy. If it's super steep and technical, then there is no problem with engaging turbo mode, and why wouldn't you? So this is the difference in data between max effort in eco versus boost mode. Here's the difference in the data between minimal effort in both eco and boost mode. So the biggest surprise for me in all this data was going hard in boost mode was actually pretty much the same heart rate as in eco going easy. Just a lot slower in time, but pretty much the same workout. Right, the results are in after a rad afternoon of blasting a few runs up and down this hill. Let's take a look at the data. Well, first up, boost mode going hard was the fastest time of the day. 1 minute 21 seconds to go up this hill, compared to the slowest time of the day being eco going easy with 2 minutes 25, so almost a minute faster. But it's not just about that, it's the heart rates. But interestingly enough, in boost mode going hard, my maximum heart rate was 179 beats per minute, compared to my eco where I was going hard of 185 beats per minute. So not a huge difference there. It just goes to show it's really down to the mindset of the rider that you are when it comes to riding your bike. We have the riders that like using those lower power modes and pushing themselves a little bit harder and making your body actually do the work rather than motors. And then we have the passenger who likes to sit on the bike and really rely on that motor, not doing a lot of work themselves. And both are neither right or wrong. You can have a great ride doing it either way. And that's the great thing about e-bikes, is the options of doing these different styles of riding. And if it's smooth and easy going, you can get massive gains in range by selecting a lower power mode and digging that a little deeper and getting more from your battery. But let us know down in the comments box down below about what type of rider are you? Are you a turbo, hour smasher, or do you like getting out in the hills in eco? Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe to us here on eMBN. And whilst you're there, check out the merch shop for all the latest kit.